We drove into Chicago because it was the nearest direct flight. 6 hours was better than any potential delays with layovers these days. The plane was really nice. They had all the necessary things to get you through: games, pillow blanket, toiletries, 2 solid meals, and a bunch of movies. The flight was 15 hours, no way around it. We left Chicago at midnight Chicago time and got to Taipei at around 5 a.m. Taipei time. Because it was a weekday, my uncle sent a driver to pick us up and take us to his place. Last time I was back here was about 18 years ago, and a lot's changed since then. Taipei 101 was the tallest building in the world. Now it's about the 10th. Crazy how things change. My aunt and uncle's apartment looks a little bit different from when I was here last. But one thing remains the same. Space is limited in Taipei. People live their entire lives in condos these sizes, but it's all they really need. These are my aunt's cats. That's Dodo. This is Shong Shong. This is Liang Liang. And this is Fei Fei. The friendliest of them all. Outside their building was a really nice park. I noticed Taipei has a lot of third places that are not home nor work. There's not a ton of this where I grew up, so I really enjoyed it. Some of the first things we did was get settled in, get food, get snacks, and load up our yo-yo carts for public transportation. You can use the same card for bus and subway. One of the first places we went to was Raohe Night Market.
Good sausage. Have a sausage, good sausage. No, I don't want sausage.
Night markets are a huge thing in Taiwan. Usually a street, road, or many streets and roads will be blocked off for vendors of all kinds. There'll be food, games, knickknacks, and knockoffs throughout. This one specifically was more food oriented, but even if you don't like these things, it's still just a vibe.
Yeah, the wood.
不辣吧？
都辣。
都辣哦。那我们先收的哦，不好意思。
We took a day trip to go visit my uncle's company in Neihu. I'm a huge fan of public transportation, and it was cool to see how clean subways are here. My uncle started a software company in the late 80s. He built an office in Neihu and still works there to this day. We went to go visit it, but I won't show you the inside. Close by is a mall called Miramar that we went to. I'm not a shopper, but it was pretty cool. There's a Ferris wheel up top. Every evening we'd return to my aunt's cats. They were really needy. My mom was hosting a booth at a convention near Taipei 101. We went to go visit her before checking out 101. The convention was for healthy food and lifestyle. Overall, it was pretty cool. People were telling me that I was too fat and that drinking their tea would be the cure, I guess.
Yeah.
met up with my sister's friend Dave, who lives in Hong Kong, and his cousin Brian, who's doing a semester in Taiwan. Small world. And then we went to check out 101. Yes, so we can't jump. We went to a restaurant called To Taiwan, which had robot waiters, which I thought was pretty cool. Then we went to Shiling Night Market. This night market was more fashion oriented with street clothes, shoes, and all kinds of swaggy stuff. I'm not that swaggy, so I didn't get that many clothes. But this little intersection was a pretty cool people watching spot. It also had one of these. The next morning, my little sister went to go visit her friend in South Taiwan, so I hung out with Tiffany and her squad, and we did the elephant trail. But first had to stop and get coffee at this hipster spot right at the base. The trail was pretty short, but it had sick views of the city. And at the very top was a pretty random gym with a lot of old Asian guys doing exercises. We then went back to Xingyi district and found some random stuff going on. This was a pop-up concert, and I think they were doing sound tests for a later show. I think I made that guy laugh because I was the only person hyping him up. There was a ton of street art going on, like this guy doing Chinese yo-yo tricks.
God damn, it's gone hard.
We did a little detour to a creative park before going out for the night. It was chill, and people were doing magic and stuff.
We went at 12, the police would show up.
This was a long night, and I don't remember a ton of it, but Tiffany lost her phone. We met up with the original group and went to another creative park. And we found this guy who had a really nice voice. And now for a bunch of touristy stuff. We took the high-speed rail to visit central Taiwan and the more mountainous areas. When we got there, we went to a restaurant in Jiayi. The food was good, but the atmosphere was sweet. We went to the local night market, and this one was super chill. My mom randomly decided to get some swaggy K-pop clothes. Then we took a train to go to Alishan National Forest. We took a tour of the giant tree cluster trail. Some of the trees here were over 1,000 years old. The next morning, we woke up at 4:30 a.m. to see the Zuoshan sunrise. The train dropped us off about a mile away from the viewing location, so we basically had to run to catch the sunrise. These were some monkeys on the trail. I don't think you were supposed to feed them though. It was worth it running the mile because we got a good view. The best part was that on the way back, we found a little hidden detour to an even better viewing spot. Only a handful of people got to see this, but we had such limited time before needing to get back to the train, we couldn't stay for long. We then went to Sun Moon Lake, which is a famous lake with a ton of folklore associated with it. This was one of the best shots I got because it was so foggy most of the time, but I thought it was really pretty. We went to a couple piers along the lake, and we also rode by on a boat and saw Chiang Kai-shek's massive temple. We rented some bikes and did a little ride along the lake. No bells.
Oh.
My mom's bell was broken. We stopped by the main piers to see some temples like this one, and another had a cable car station. Our next stop was to Hualien on the east side of Taiwan. We took a train to get there, but there was a layover, so we hung out at a mall until then. Once we got there, we immediately went to Tailuka National Park. This was my favorite part of the trip. Saw a dung beetle.
西瓜甜不甜？
I highly recommend this area if you ever come to Taiwan. On our last night in Hualien, we went to the super cool night market. This one was more carnival game oriented, and also there was a Screamo concert happening. Fun fact, Chinese Screamo sounds just like American Screamo.
I think you need to go a little bit higher.
We played a lot of these games. This one was surprisingly hard.
One hand, Tiffany. Oh my god. How did you lose that?
And on our last few days of the trip back in Taipei, we went to check out the Chiang Kai-shek Memorial near my grandparents' place. And that was it. Thanks for watching.
Sir.